This is the first mod I've ever made. I'll do my best to fix any bugs or concerns as they're presented. To install, go to your Steam library and right-click on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Go to Properties, and in Local Files click Browse. This is your game directory. Make a copy of your data folder, and then extract the data folder found from Proud Mode into this directory. If you don't have a data folder already, that's fine. To uninstall, either restore the data folder you copied, or open the data folder and delete the quests and system folders. If you install the version with the optional music mod, you'll also need to delete the sound folder. The purpose of the mod is to increase the difficulty of the game through 4 major changes. Let's start with the biggest change. In the vanilla game, enemies have a tendency to just stand around during fights, which really breaks immersion. I went through and increased the AI so that even early level enemies are more challenging. Also, due to popular request, I increased the AI of certain story mode allies and all allies in parallel quests. Next up are the stat changes. I've modified the level, health, ki, stamina, damage dealt, damage taken, and for some enemies, movement speed. Enemies that canonically regenerate, like Cell, Boo, or Zamasu, have been given health regeneration. The third change is the movesets. The vanilla game either doesn't give enemies a full roster of skills, or gives them very weak, generic skills. I've changed characters to have skills that are related to them, or related to someone important to them. I also added transformations where it made sense. The fourth change is the player leveling. It starts out 3 times as difficult, but falls in line with the vanilla game around level 20. The number of attribute points per level has been evened out for a more consistent, steady growth. There are a lot of minor changes that I made as well. Fade to white commands have been changed to fade to black for those who play in the dark. Time limits on parallel quests have been maxed out. As such, ultimate finishes that were related to the time it took to complete a quest will now trigger so long as the player stays above 10% health. There are also a few Easter eggs that I won't spoil. The learn rate of evasives, skills, and ultimates has been increased to 100%. This is because quests take longer to finish, and it wouldn't make sense to have you grinding them over and over just because a skill has a 26% drop rate. I changed a few flags in story mode. Too many times I was wailing on enemies while waiting for the dialogue to finish. There were also some fights where I completely won, but the cutscene then shows my character beat up. It was irritating, so I changed a few flags so that the dialogue plays sooner. Additionally, missions with extremely tough enemies will be cleared so long as you survive for a certain amount of time. But if you get them down to a certain amount of health, you'll get the ultimate finish, which gives double experience and Zenny. Story mode also has its own unique system added. Previously this was the do or die system, but it seems people really didn't like it, so I've replaced it. We now have the all-in system. If a non-Majin character drops below 25% health, they'll have special character-related traits applied to them. However, they'll take 25% additional damage and won't be able to use items for the rest of the mission. When Majins reach 50% health, they'll immediately be dropped to 35% max health. However, they'll only take 75% damage for the remainder of the mission. Again, they won't be able to use items. Completing the mission in these circumstances grants double experience and Zenny. Time rifts now have enemies at much higher levels, so you might need to wait a bit longer before attempting them. Training with Vegeta now gives twice the normal experience and Zenny by default. This will change to triple the normal amount if you stay above 25% health. Guru's house missions now give double experience if you defeat all the enemies before gathering the Dragon Balls. This is meant to incentivize you to actually fight the enemies. The optional music mod incorporates songs from Dragon Ball Kai, Dragon Ball Super Broly, Fighter Z, and a few pieces from other Dragon Ball media. I've also added remixes from Android Orchestra, Stizmask, and Pokemixer 92. You can see all the changes I've made in this mod via the Google Doc linked in the description. I don't expect anyone to read all of it, but if you have a question about changes made in a certain mission, or you want to know what music is used in a specific quest, you can quickly find the answer here. Finally, let's discuss some bugs. Installing the mod forces all parallel quests to be unlocked by default, except for the ones acquired by talking to people around Kantan City. I have no idea how to fix this. Another major issue is that after fighting Majin Buu in the story, Trunks doesn't appear in the time nest. You can fix this by downloading a save editor and setting the next mission to locked. That's about it. Thanks for installing the mod.